Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today's video is going to be a first impressions foundation video. I wanted to try out the Hourglass Vanish Foundation Stick today. I picked this up at the Sephora sale. Hourglass products are very expensive, even for like higher end products. They are on the pricier side, so I wanted to pick this up and try it out. I have always wanted to test this one out and see how it works. It is a seamless finish foundation stick. It is supposed to be versatile enough for all skin types from what I can remember. Let me pull it up on Sephora real quick. So it is supposed to have full to medium coverage. It is for sensitive, normal, dry, combination, or oily skins. And it says that the finish is satin, matte, radiant, and natural. So it's sort of covering all of the spectrums. The official description is a long-wearing foundation stick with the coverage of a concealer, fluidity of a liquid, and weightlessness of a powder for invisible full coverage. So I like the idea of it having versatility for multiple skin tones. I have normal to dry skin. My skin tends to be more on the dry side. So I like having like the radiant kind of like hydrating formulation, but I know sometimes people that have more oily and combination skin like something a little bit more dry, matte. So I'm excited to try it out and let you guys know. I'm gonna share with you guys the color that I picked, like the different brushes. I tried out both a brush and a sponge to kind of see how it works with both, kind of like the usual first impression kind of test drive, and I'm excited. So if you guys want to see my demo and then some update videos with like some wear information, then just keep watching. Alright, my hair looks awful right now, but it looks like it's gonna downpour, and I was like, I have to get this video filmed before the lighting like is completely shot to hell. So I'm gonna do this. I did get my nails done this morning, so on the plus side, I feel so excited that they're like done and fresh, and I have like a love-hate relationship because I always do the gel, like OPI gel, and it's so perfect. Like it makes your nails look so good. It lasts for forever, but I feel like your nails turn to crap after. I was like, ugh, I don't know if I should go, but I did, and they look so much better. I just felt like I needed to tell you guys that because I don't know, I'm so excited. It's been a while since I got them done. On to my first impressions. I'm gonna try this out with you guys. This normally sells for $46 for a 0.25 ounce. And typically, like most foundations that are liquid, you get about an ounce. I know the stick foundations you get a little bit less, but as a comparison, the Makeup Forever one, which I love, you get 0.44 ounces and it's $43. So you get almost twice the amount of product for cheaper. So we will see how this one works. This is what it looks like outside of the box. It has like that triangular shape. I will say I love the packaging. I like the Hourglass packaging. Like they have more of like a sleek kind of shiny style to them. I think that they're really pretty. I'm not sure how this little like triangle is gonna work, but we're gonna try it out. I went ahead and applied my moisturizer. This hands down is my favorite. I've talked about this before, but it's the Aveeno Positively Radiant Daily Moisturizer. It has SPF 15. So good. I've also been using this recently. My skin has been breaking out, and it's just sort of like an ongoing process. Sometimes it clears up, sometimes it comes back, and I know it's probably like hormonal, but I have been trying out the Kate Somerville Anti-Bac acne clearing lotion. I use this sometimes at night, sometimes in the morning. So I did put a little bit of that on after my moisturizer. And then for primer, I have been using the Becca Backlight Priming Filter. I love this. Best primer ever. I will list all of this stuff as well as the foundation and everything below. I'm gonna do half my face with this brush. This is the Real Techniques Expert Face Brush. One of my faves. I love it. You guys know that. And then I'm also gonna take my Beauty Blender, which I washed, but it still looks kind of disgusting. I think I need to swap out for a new one. Typically with the Makeup Forever one, I prefer the brush. So we'll see how this works. Typically I always buy the lightest shade, but I went for Alabaster because the lightest shade looked very light, and I figured that this would be a good match. So I'm gonna start by just like putting a little bit of dots, triangles on my face. Okay, I'm just gonna kind of start blending. Okay, so first thought is it looks very natural, but I see a little bit of coverage. The thing I noticed the most is it looks more like skin. Like it doesn't look heavy. That's kind of cool. Like I don't really feel like I'm wearing foundation, but I feel like I see some coverage, like it gave some coverage. Okay, so that was one light layer, and to be honest, I don't know what to think. At first I wasn't sure, but I feel like I see some coverage. Very light. It feels light on my skin, like in comparison to like the Estee Lauder one that I reviewed last time. I don't even feel like it looks like I'm wearing foundation. Like it looks like skin in person. Obviously I can still see like my blemishes and some freckles and stuff, so it's not like 100% cover proof, but most foundations don't really cover all of my freckles and stuff. But I feel like for one layer, that's pretty good, like natural coverage. I love how it feels. I love that I don't look cakey. I don't see anything cakey. It looks like my skin. I'm gonna go in with another layer and we'll see if it'll build up a little bit more. So I'm liking this stick more than I thought I would, because you can kind of just like swipe it on. That's like my favorite thing about a stick foundation, is it's so easy and so easy to apply. And this one's very creamy, so it goes on really nicely. As far as like applicator, I think that both of them gave a very similar look. So I don't know if I prefer one over the other. I always kind of go for the Real Techniques just because it blends in really quickly and it always does a nice job. But I think the Beauty Blender did a good job too. So that was 2 coats. I sort of just kind of mixed in the Beauty Blender and the Real Techniques brush. Don't see a whole lot of difference between application with these two. I think either one works great. I typically go for this one, like I said, just because it's really quick and easy. But it looks dewy on both sides. I would say it has higher coverage than the Makeup Forever one for sure. It does have a little bit more coverage, but it looks very natural. So I finished up my makeup and this is kind of what everything looks like all together. I think, you guys, I might be obsessed. Like, I am really, really happy with this so far, like initial first impressions. So what I like so far about this is that it is very natural looking. It looks like my face. It looks like skin. It does not look heavy or cakey or anything like that, but I feel like it provides pretty good coverage. I would not say it's like the most full coverage foundation out there, but it is pretty medium to full coverage. I think you can build it up a little bit, and it has a little bit more coverage than the Makeup Forever. These are very similar in formulation and look. They're both very natural, very beautiful on the skin. This one just has a slightly higher coverage ability. Very, very creamy. It went on really well. It blended very well. I think, you know, it works really well with the foundation brush or a beauty sponge. I was happy with both. I don't really notice a lot of difference as far as like the coverage that either one of these gave. I think that they both worked really well with this foundation. So regardless of whether you use beauty blenders or sponges, I think if you have a good tool, it will work well with this. I also love the color. I chose Alabaster, which I think is a perfect match for me. I feel like if I had chosen the Blanc shade, it would be too light. So if you're paler than I am, there is a lighter shade, which is great. They have a very large range of shades, which I think is really nice if you're super, super fair like me, or you're darker. They have tons of shades, tons of cool tones, warm tones. A couple of people talking about how the little triangle is weird and you can stamp it and stuff. I personally just kind of like rubbed it on like I do with the Makeup Forever, and I think it was just as easy. I was concerned because this is a lot larger of a surface versus this, and I thought, are you gonna have to, you know, put a lot on? But I don't feel like I had to use like an excessive amount of this. I don't like that it has a lot less product than that. This one lasts me for a long time, but if, you know, this one is half the size, I feel like I would go through it a little bit quicker, and it is more expensive to repurchase. However, at this current moment, I think that I like it a little bit better than the Makeup Forever. So those are just my initial thoughts up front. I'm gonna keep watching it throughout the day, so I will pop in and do like a couple of update videos and kind of give you guys a wear test after a few hours and then at the end of the day. Alright, so I wanted to do a really quick update. It's been around 4 hours, I would say, and I'm outside. I just got back from running errands and I felt like the lighting out here was a little bit better. So far so good. I haven't noticed a lot of change in the foundation. I did use my phone earlier, like when I was calling somebody, and a little bit of it transferred onto my phone, which sometimes happens with certain foundations. So I think that's kind of average, like to be expected, but as far as the coloring and the coverage, nothing has changed. It hasn't like fallen off or sweated off or anything. So I think it still looks really nice. I did have to take off like my liquid lip earlier, so it looks a little funky down here, like where I rubbed it off, but other than that, I think we're still going strong. Okay, it's been right about 10 hours now, and I wanted to do like a final report on the foundation. So it's definitely started to wear off a little bit more now. I don't know if you guys can tell or not, but there is definitely some like redness showing up on my face and like my chin. So the foundation claims to be 12-hour coverage. I don't think we quite make it to 12. There's still some coverage in certain areas, and I feel like overall my face and my skin still looks nice. Like from a distance you wouldn't notice, but it is starting to wear down a little bit. It is supposed to be like a 2-in-1 like concealer and foundation. I don't necessarily agree with that. I did still see some of my like acne spots and stuff like that that I had to use concealer for, but I did think it did a nice job of covering up the redness. That being said, I love the finish, I love the formula, I love how it looks on my skin, and I'm gonna keep using it. I've also noticed a little bit of settling in like my dry areas. This tends to happen to me for a lot of foundations. I have dry skin and like certain dry areas, so I have started to see it kind of break down and settle, but overall I still really like it. So I don't know, like I said, if it's completely long wearing as they claim, but I do think it's a really nice foundation. Alright you guys, that is everything for my first impressions video. I really hope you found this helpful. Let me know if you guys want to see some more of these first impressions videos on other foundations or other products, because I would love to do them. Give the video a thumbs up if you enjoyed, and I will catch you guys in my next video. Thank you so much for watching. Bye!